The role of a DJ is to take a crowd on a journey, tell a story, and make them go home happy. If you don't, remove the 2 letters from before your name. I think the toughest part of DJing is knowing the music. I don't have a problem controlling a party. I think what would be the toughest would be knowing music, and it's because there's so much music in the world, and I can only speak for myself. I have never pigeonholed myself and said I'm this kind of DJ or that kind of DJ. I've always been a DJ. So there was no trap when I started. There was no underground when I started. There was no pop. It was great records, and it's about great records. It's about knowing the music. What I think is impactful being a part of a DJ crew is if the person who started it can actually help the other members who are going to be in it. Because if they can't, then they're just a bunch of friends who play records together. I think the person who's going to start it or create it should be able to be comfortable with his position in his career and say, I see the talent in somebody else and I want to help them become better or do more for themselves or reach another level. If the leader or the guy who creates the crew isn't willing to be that unselfish, then the crew probably won't work. There was extreme competitive mentality because I wanted the guys in my crew to be better than everybody else. I wanted them to be the best that people heard. When it came to being in DJ battles, I wanted them to win every single one. If you really follow hip hop is a competitive sport. It's a contact sport. It started from competition. We're from the beginnings of that, and I wanted all of my guys to be competitively strong, and we competed against each other without competing against each other. We taught each other tricks. We taught each other better techniques. We taught each other what the most important parts of being strong DJs is really all about, because we wanted everyone to be able to look at that group of guys and go, yeah, I don't think I want to fuck with them. When you're a mix show DJ, you're playing to a box. When you're a club DJ, you're actually playing to people who can react immediately. Yeah, if you're listening to the radio, you can say you hate something, you don't like something, but in a club, you have to answer to the people who are in front of you all the time. That takes a different flavor level, a different knowledge of the music. And usually when you're a mix show DJ, you have to stay within some parameters, and you have to play a certain kind of music, or you have to stay within the conforms of the station that you're in. And because of that, you don't get to explore and teach and give really good lessons. There is a part, though, about being a radio DJ that's very hard. It's picking and choosing records that will be special months in advance. If you're a radio DJ and you're not breaking records, it's because you're not picking the right records. You gotta pick records. That means you gotta listen all the time. I go back to what I said from the beginning. A good DJ has to know the music. If he doesn't know the music, then it don't matter where you're at, you're gonna be whack, to me. I don't think breaking a record is throwing it on 4 times in a row and saying, this is it, this is gonna be the next jam that's out. I think it's, what's the record you played before it? What's the record you're gonna play after it? And how does it make a cohesive mesh so somebody goes, what was that? Because if you play a record 5 times in a row, but the record's really not that good, you're not gonna break it. But if the record is good and you play it seamlessly from the record before and then the next record after is seamlessly out, they will remember the moment. And that moment is what makes people say, I like it, I like it, I like it. Then you can hit them over the head with it a few times, but it has to be something that is musically cohesive and fits in the story so that nobody gets confused when they hear it. I started before the words hip hop were created. I started in 1975. I started DJing when I was 9. Yeah, there were no words back then. It was, can you mix records? And I learned how to mix records. But my uncle had a DJ set, and he explained why he had 2 turntables, even though he wasn't a DJ. He explained what you hear on the radio when you hear 2 records being mixed in between and you hear them at the same time, that's mixing. And I wanted to know how to do that. So I learned. He let me go. And I think the reason why he didn't mind is because he knew he personally couldn't teach me himself. He could tell me what was happening when the 2 records were playing together, but he couldn't teach me himself. So he didn't mind letting me do it. Actually, I don't believe you can be a DJ by a click of a button. I think people are abusing the 2 letters, and I think people should learn to have a lot more respect for the job. Right. So I don't think you can be a DJ at the click of a button. I think there are people that believe that. I think that there are people who are abusing the craft, but I think the reason why is because there's a good amount of money that you can be made if you become a good DJ. I don't think you should borrow somebody's hard drive, hook it up to your computer, and call yourself a DJ. I think learning the craft is the most important thing. Don't just get the top 100 records that are out and keep slamming them up against people's heads every night. Like, really do the research, figure it out, like, understand about music, because if not, you're abusing those 2 letters that I helped build the legacy behind. I don't really have anybody, with the way that they market themselves. Some use the DJ in front, some don't. I just think that the craft itself, if you're going to be in a club and you're going to be doing that, then you should actually know how. It should be something that makes you want to study it every day, that makes you want to find something special to do at the next party. You should want to change up your routine. I don't want to come in the club, hear you one week, and then go back next week and hear you do the same thing, except maybe you added the new record that came out this week. I don't want to hear that. I want to hear you be crafty about the music and, like, again, tell that story. Teach somebody something about music. Do it properly so that they walk away, and instead of it being, yeah, we're going to go to the club again, they're going to go, nah, I'm going to hear you again. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to just go to the club. They want to go hear you. You're doing something different. People don't want to go to the club where I'm at. They want to go wherever I'm at because I can play.